Okay, now this step is going to be one that you already remember. You have to remember. We're going to be adding the edging along the sides of the foam core. Now, one thing I had forgotten to tell you, I think it was just my excitement of actually getting my phone to work and my camera to work. Remember that you need to add white carton board to the tops and bottoms of your table. So I redrew these lines and redrew everything that I'd already drawn on there. Now remember that if you're working with the curves, the curved table, if you've made all your chairs curved, you're going to need to also use some tape to hold down this edging. Now the edging goes down the exact same way, except for the fact that you're going to need at least two pieces, two long pieces to go around the edges. Now, I usually just pick a side that I'm going to use for the seams, or pick two sides actually. And you notice I'm putting glue all the way down this edge and all the way down around here. Because it's just easier to do this in kind of one shot. So I'm going to put this down. I've chosen the short ends, and I make sure I get my edging paper where I need it to go, and then I'm adding a little tape, and then you can very easily go around the edges, and any glue that comes out on that edge, just wipe it off. And once it's in place, remember you don't want it too tacky, you just want it enough to hold it in place. You see how it's just holding it in place. Put this one here. I really don't need much on that little straightaway. It always seems to need more tape next to the corners. Remember how I used my hand to kind of make the tape a little less tacky. Now, as I'm winding it around, I take my scissors, and I'm just kind of aiming for the middle. It doesn't have to be perfectly in the middle. It doesn't have to be on the short sides. You can put it anywhere you want. Okay, and one more piece of tape. And there you go. And then you'll just add the second piece around the other side. Now remember, with the sides where you aren't doing the rounded corners, you really don't need any tape. I've added my glue on here. Got a little squishy right there. I don't run my finger along this much because the chances of getting a really wicked paper cut are increased. And because you're only doing a straight line, it'll stick. You can always, if you need to, add some tape if you feel as though it really needs to be held down. Like this one, I think does need to be held down a little bit. I'm going to add some tape right there, and one right there. Okay, just to hold it in place. Sometimes I'll just tip them upside down. And remember, if it's a little bit too big, don't worry. Once everything's dry, we can cut that part off. So it's a good idea before you go on to the next steps to have all of this tabletop glued together, meaning you've got the carton board, the whiteboard here, and you can kind of see that I've got, I think I used another one of those ice cream boxes. I like ice cream. You've got the board on the front and the bottom. You've got the edging glued on. And then you've also measured 5 millimeters around the outside, and you've drawn in all 4 of where your legs are going to go. Now, what you can do while you're waiting for things to dry is you've already cut these boards out, so you can take your X-Acto and trim these down. Now remember, you're going to want to have a little bit more, it's better to have more than to have less. Does that make sense? That makes sense, I think. So you can go through here and measure these again, make sure, because you remember you're not going from this side all the way over here. You're just going to be going in between where the two circles are. So you can see I got a little bit more than I need. We're going to be making some slight angles on that, but we can't do that until we add the legs. Now, remember, don't throw these away. We're going to be using these as the braces that are going to go from here to here. And even though I gave you a measurement, I'm going to show you a really easy way to do this where you really don't have to have any measurement. But I can't do that until I've glued those legs on. I can't glue the legs on until the outside edging, the veneer part, has dried thoroughly on all of this. So I will see you in the next video for putting the legs on.